Right then, welcome back. In this video, we're getting into something that makes the 2026 MotoGP season even more exciting and genuinely full of uncertainty. Michelin, the official tire supplier for MotoGP, is gearing up for the second round of the season in Brazil, but this one's a completely different beast. They're heading to a circuit they've never properly got to know, with zero real lap data to work from, relying entirely on something called numerical simulation. How did it come to this? Why does it matter so much for the riders and their teams, and what's the connection to Ducati's rather rough weekend in Thailand? We're covering all of it here, nice and relaxed, but with proper depth. Let's start with the venue itself. MotoGP this season will be racing at the Autódromo Internacional de Goiânia, now named after Formula One legend Ayrton Senna, a legendary name, a freshly revived circuit. This track hosted Grand Prix motorcycle racing back in the late 1980s, and it's now returned to the MotoGP calendar in 2026 following a major renovation, including a complete resurfacing job that meets FIM and MotoGP standards. So picture this, it's not a brand new circuit built from scratch, but an old one that's had a very long lie-in, then woken up wearing a brand new kit. It sits in the heart of Brazil, in the city of Goiânia, and it marks MotoGP's long-awaited return to South America after a very lengthy absence. Emotionally, that alone makes it a big story. But from the tire side of things, it's become a genuine headache that Michelin have had to solve creatively. Now here's where it gets really interesting. This circuit is completely uncharted territory for Michelin. Because no on-track testing has been possible there, the tire allocation has been determined purely through numerical simulation, designed to identify speeds, load zones, and the key characteristics of the layout. Yes, you read that right. Absolutely nothing, not a single lap of real MotoGP data from the renovated circuit exists. Every decision about which tires the world's best riders will be using is based on computer calculations, not lived experience on the tarmac. Piero Taramasso, Michelin's motorsport manager, spoke openly about it. He explained that this is an entirely fresh challenge. They've never raced there in the modern MotoGP context, couldn't organize any testing, and so everything comes down to simulation. And what that simulation revealed is something rather crucial. The circuit is highly asymmetric, with very heavy loading concentrated on the right-hand side. At 3.835 kilometers in length, the Autódromo Internacional de Goiânia features 9 right-hand corners and 5 left-hand corners, making it a strongly asymmetric layout. Sounds simple enough, but the effect on the tires is enormous. When a bike is leaning to the right far more often, the right side of the tire carries considerably more heat and pressure than the left. That can cause the tire to lose grip earlier than expected, or worse, suffer unpredictable degradation mid-race. Michelin have anticipated this. For the rear tire, they've gone with a stiffer casing and a more durable compound on the right side, along with a reinforced structure to better manage heat buildup. None of that is guesswork. It's the result of thorough analysis, even if that analysis had no real lap times to feed from. Because uncertainty is so high, Michelin have taken an unusual step. They'll be providing a larger allocation than a typical race weekend. 6 soft, 6 medium, and 6 hard for the front, plus 8 soft, 6 medium, and 5 hard for the rear. Each rider is allowed to use 12 front tires and 14 rear tires across the full weekend. Compare that to the standard 2026 MotoGP allocation, where most circuits only offer 2 front specifications. In Brazil, there are 3. And in greater quantities too. It's a clear signal that Michelin themselves are acknowledging the unknown. We can't be entirely sure what's coming, so here's more ammunition to allow the teams to experiment properly. On top of that, Friday practice sessions have been extended to compensate for the lack of prior testing data. The riders will have extra time to learn both the circuit and the tires before qualifying and race day arrive. Not dramatic enough yet? Add the weather. From a meteorological point of view, March is quite a humid period around Goiânia. Air temperatures are expected to range between 20 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius, relatively moderate for MotoGP, but the risk of rain remains significant given the circuit's geographical location. Rain at a brand new venue, with tires based purely on simulation data? That could get wonderfully chaotic. But Michelin have prepared for that too. If the track turns wet, they'll have their power rain range available in soft and medium compounds, symmetric at the front and asymmetric at the rear. Here's where it gets even spicier. After a difficult opening round in Thailand, the rear tire allocation for the Brazilian MotoGP Grand Prix is said to feel more like Austria than Buriram or Mandalika, and that has significant implications. Why does Austria matter? Because at the Red Bull Ring, Ducati and Pecco Bagnaia have historically been dominant. Bagnaia delivered commanding performances at the Austrian venue in both 2024 and 2023, with a similar rear tire character to what's expected in Brazil. If the feel really is comparable, Ducati could look considerably stronger here than they did in Thailand. But that's precisely what makes MotoGP so brilliant. Nobody truly knows. This circuit is fresh, the conditions are unread, and even Michelin openly acknowledged that the rider who learns the circuit and tire behavior quickest will have the edge. It's not just about the best machinery or the most naturally gifted rider. It's about who adapts fastest and reads the situation most cleverly. There's one more piece of context that gives this Brazil round an extra layer of weight. 2026 is Michelin's last season as exclusive MotoGP tire supplier. From 2027, Pirelli takes over, while Michelin moves across to World SBK. In this, their 11th season in MotoGP, Michelin have introduced a philosophy of doing more with less, reducing the variety of tire specifications while increasing the quantity available per specification. And remarkably, even as the choices have been simplified, MotoGP machinery has continued getting quicker. Lap records keep falling, proving that both performance and safety have kept improving. So Brazil isn't just another round 2 on the 2026 calendar. It's part of Michelin's farewell tour of MotoGP, and they've chosen to make their penultimate chapter at the most mysterious venue imaginable, with no data, relying entirely on simulation. If that isn't the behavior of a brand that genuinely believes in itself, what is? Let's pull it all together. The Goiânia circuit is fresh, asymmetric, and completely untouched by modern MotoGP. Michelin arrive without a single real lap to reference, everything built on simulation. The tire allocation is bigger than usual. The weather could turn wet at any moment. And underpinning all of it, this is Michelin's penultimate season before handing the baton to Pirelli. Put all of that together and Brazil isn't just a standard race weekend. It's a genuine test of everyone involved. Of Michelin as a supplier, of the teams that need to experiment quickly, and of the riders who must learn everything from zero within the same weekend. They're expected to compete for the win. Whoever is sharpest, most adaptable, and most switched on is the one who'll shine brightest. If you're enjoying this kind of content that digs deeper into MotoGP beyond just the race results, go ahead and subscribe now and turn on notifications so you never miss the next breakdown. And most importantly, drop a comment below. Who do you reckon benefits most in Brazil? Ducati, or could the lighter and more nimble outfits like Aprilia or Honda actually have something to say about it? Before you head off, one quick question. Are you in the camp that trusts Michelin's simulation will be accurate enough for a smooth weekend? Or are you fully expecting some proper drama given the total absence of real data? Let everyone know in the comments below. Pick your side, team simulation or team drama. I'll be reading through all your replies and the best one gets pinned. See you in the next one. Keep that passion for racing burning and stay until the very last lap. Cheers!